Mr. Minnick, helping students in Python in 2018 trace through the chatbot project demo number 1. Now, it might change in the future, but here's the version as of now. So I hope that lots of students in the future learn from this. First of all, let's run the program to sort of get appreciation for how it works. So when I click run, over here in my console output window, this is not Turtle Graphics. This is that bottom area. I just stretched it up so it fills in the whole screen. The chatbot gives a greeting. Hello, let's talk. And then it tells us to say something, please. So that's part of the greeting. Then it asks us to enter a statement. I guess it also means a question too. And then it does emphasize that the Sentinel value to quit this project, to get out of it, because there's no drop-down exit command, and there's no, like red button there to click. We'd have to type the word bye. Anyway, hello. I'm just going to keep it simple as I test this chatbot the way it is. And now it comes back with the old, do you want to hear a knock-knock joke? Now I'm going to stop the program and re-execute it. And look, this time when I say hello, the same test case input, the word hello typed by me, the human, I hit the enter key, and this time it comes back with, do you really think so? So it's randomizing its random responses to my initial hello. Make a note of that, because when we trace the functions in the code, you're going to need to know where it's doing that. If we, though, type in certain keywords, and I happen to know before we trace the code that one of the keywords, instead of hello, I'm going to type, do you watch basketball? So I'm asking a computer if it watches basketball. How silly. But this might be Alan Turing or some other famous computer scientist behind the scenes, somebody that's like really smart and that responds to like real questions. This could be a real smart computer that does watch basketball. Look, it said, do you prefer pro or college basketball? So it turns out basketball is a keyword that it does a find, and it looks up what it should say back to the word basketball. I think for the assignment in 2018, you need at least 10 keywords to get an A, a low A. If you want a high A, double that to like 20 keywords. Now I continue. I'm going to say, I like pro basketball. If it's a really smart chatbot, it's going to take me to level 2 of the decision tree. It's going to make a decision for what comeback to say to my original comeback. Okay, I'm hitting the enter key. Because I had the word pro, and notice I did not repeat the word basketball, by the way, it now threw out the name of a true pro basketball team. Even if you don't follow basketball, listen to me in the video. There is a team called Sixers. Wow, we're at like level 2 of the basketball conversation dialogue decision tree. Let's see how far we can go. I'm going to type yes. Now, should I type capital yes? How about French for we? We is yes in French. C, I heard, is like yes in Spanish. Well, anyway, I'm going to say yes in English. I'm going to keep it lowercase. So it's that smart that it knows that the Sixers, this was typed up in another year, but they were on track to make it to the championships, like 1970s. I don't think it goes any deeper than this, but I'm going to check. I like Dr. J. He's an old player, Julius Erving. Now it comes back with what sport do you like? I think it's off of its decision tree and it's back to picking up random things. But if you hand in an A+ on this assignment, it could keep me entertained for hours on one topic, like chess, running, and love for my family. The 3 things that I care about. grading students' homeworks is not one of my top 3. Okay, so now we're going to trace the logic of the code. Teaching my students is top 10, maybe even top 5. So here's that section for references. If you use code from any copyright legal situation, you'd be putting in the www.address there and explain it. Maybe you have a section for imports. I don't know if you'll be importing Turtle here. Some of you will throw a graphical interface to this, like a picture of somebody named Michael with a hole cut out where the lips are, and then like a GIF, like a little moving mouth where the lips are. You could do something like that. Anyway, import Turtle, import random. Here are 3 globals that I'm giving you right now. This global constant that's used throughout the whole script, and then these 2 global variables that will be used at various times. You will probably be adding other level variables for topic or threads, conversation dialogue threads of your choice. Like maybe specific to the NCAA tournament, you'll have a thread of conversation. But start it at 1. You'll see that from 1, at some point in my code, I move level basketball up to 2, then eventually it makes it up to 3, then 4, and I think that's the depth of the intelligence of this chatbot on the topic basketball. Knock knock jokes, it also goes up to a level 4. Chess engines, sometimes AI chess engines, they can go really deep, like millions and millions of moves into a sequence. Well, thousands at least, if not a million. Okay, back up to the global variable and constant section of the code. This is very important. I think the current specs say that you have to have 10 of these. This is called a list. We haven't studied it yet. See the square bracket there and the square bracket there? Some people would put the square bracket over here so it kind of lines up with the R. Some people might style-wise put that square bracket here, Tiana, so it kind of evens up with that square bracket. It doesn't matter where it's indented to as long as it's good style. But each of these are random responses that your chatbot's going to use if it's not in a conversation dialogue. And notice the commas. This last entry that's surrounded by double quotes doesn't have a comma because it's the last one. If you put a comma there, it's probably an error. If you don't put a comma there at one of these, it's probably an error where there has to be a comma. And if you wanted to, you could put these all on one horizontal line, but that would be annoying to me. I'm hereby declaring that in this assignment, especially if you're using Trinket, I don't want them like all out here to the left, so I have to like scroll to the far right to see them all. I like them at the commas to be like, it's not a rule of Python's here in this case for indentation. It's just my rule for vertical readability, if that's the name for something. Vertical scrollability, readability. I just emphasize don't put a comma here. So many students do when they're not paying attention to a video like this. Now, these need to be assigned to 1, and you should always have a comment, hashtag comment here that matches up with each variable or constant. Now we're down to Jasmine's favorite section of a Python window, the functions. The functions should have their own like little area, and they should have a comment in this style, not my old-fashioned style with 3 little apostrophes. And this greeting and this goodbye function get called down here in the main program. And you know what? The main program is so important, I'm going to like set it off so it stands out more. This is like the castle that has a moat around it. So people know this is the castle. This isn't just some like, out area. And the main right here, get greeting, is a call statement that calls this, and hello, let's talk prints when line 96 executes. But if you wanted to, now this would be for like an A+, an A middle, you might generate a random number here somehow. Then if num equals like 1, you say hello, let's talk. If it's a 2, you have like a different greeting. Maybe you'll know how to use Python with a special import statement up here that I can't remember off the top of my head that figures out what time it is and what day of the week it is, and it gives a greeting based on whether it's nighttime, winter, summer, daylight hours. It might even do a GPS lookup and give you the right language and tell you in Danish what hello in Danish. And that's all very easy with, well, pretty easy with Python. Yeah, some of it's in demos that are elsewhere on my website. And some of it I'm just making up, but I bet it's possible. So I look forward to the ninth grader that teaches me how to do this. I'll take credit for it, but maybe I'll give you a grad ticket. And someday ask to work for your company because you're probably going to end up being wildly successful in curing cancer along with making a better version of Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat all combined into one. Okay, anyway, this demo is so lame, it just says, let's talk all the time. And the goodbye, it's always have a great day. Down here, print get goodbye. This is it. This is the whole main program right there. That's the code that executes. These functions are just saved up for a rainy day when they get called. So the main part of this is this loop. Watch. See how it goes around like a merry-go-round? It's a while loop, not a for loop. So we never know when it's going to stop, how many iterations there are. It all keeps going around until bye is typed in by the user when he or she wants to quit. Because that not equal to symbol, it just works and it ends. I never tested that over here. Let's test that to make sure it works over here in my runtime window. I'm going to just type blah blah stuff. And now I'm tired. I'm going to type bye. Oh, good. It said have a great day then in response to bye. It's all because of this part right here. It got out of the while loop and then it did a print get goodbye. So all the magic is right here in the get response call statement. This is where the magic happens. Get response and then statement. Statement is passed as a parameter, so that phrase, bot or bush, that phrase gets passed as an incoming parameter to the function get response. So everybody watch my mouse. There are about 25 people in this room right now, and 24 of them are watching my screen. Statement, such as do you like basketball, that phrase, that quote, end of quote, gets sent up like a hot air balloon, and it plugs in here for statement there. So this variable plugs in for that variable, and this could be called statement 2 or something different, but it doesn't matter, it works. And there is the function. I hit it, but now I'm revealing the behind the curtain, the function known as getResponse, which is what happens here in this loop. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's long and a lot of code, and if just one of those is spaced in a little too far, it's going to crash on you because that's Python. If just one of them has a space in there, it's going to crash. If there's an S there, which makes sense, else if, it's going to crash because in Python it's called elif. If there's a missing left parenthesis where there needs to be a match because there's a right parenthesis, it's going to crash. Please, when you work on this over the next few days, when you upgrade this to your custom version, and you probably come down here, because that's probably where you're going to go. You're going to copy and paste that else if. Right-click, copy, make some new space, push the else down, and right in here, paste, and change the keyword to your new keyword. And then maybe change the response to something different. And then test it right away before you just mess it up in like 100 errors and you don't know which one to start with. Now I went right into level 4 of a knock-knock joke, which makes no sense. So probably to begin this project from this demo, you're going to stick with like something where, they say like one simple keyword like mother. And you might even ignore the or. So you might copy and paste this elif, come down here, and right before the else, make room, and maybe put a blank line in there for some separation, and change the keyword to like parakeet, because maybe your topic is birds. Dial it back to take away the or, and if somebody ever says parakeet, the human, you say, I love parakeets too. Assuming that they like parakeets. Now maybe they said, do you like to eat parakeets? Which means you love to eat parakeets. That would make sense. I should have planned this video out more with a storyboard. Anyway, let's test it. Let's do incremental testing and debugging. Let's test it with parakeet now. Hello, let's talk. Say something, please. Do you have a parakeet? Yeah, I'm typing grammatical English with this text stuff. Don't tell English teachers. Hit the enter key. Look, it said I love parakeets too. So it worked. The SpaceX missile launch right here worked. Now let's say that we want to also allow for them to say parrot. Then you have to do what's called a find with the string parrot. But let's say that we're predicting that they misspell parrot with just one R. See, you can put as many ors in here as you want. I got to do not equal to -1 because if something's not found as a substring in a string, then it's -1. It gets returned. Anything other than that, it's a positive number. Okay, good luck adding misspellings and making custom phrases here in your elifs. If you want to go to this expanded level of the decision tree and go to level basketball 2, level basketball 3, check it out. You would add another level variable on the topic of your choice, set it equal to 1, and then in one of these areas you'd probably copy and paste maybe this 3 section. No, you would copy and paste a whole section where you see level basketball is used. So from here, I should have put a row of hashtags. Basketball conversation dialogue. That ends right here where knock knock begins. So in the revised demo that you'll soon have, this is where I would type end of basketball conversation. This is like the closing parenthesis, and this is the opening parenthesis. Maybe you say start of basketball conversation. So this whole section right here might be copied and pasted if you want to mimic what I'm doing with basketball, college, or pro. And then if it's college, then it's Villanova or Duke. If it's pro, it only goes to Sixers and Knicks. Good luck with that as well. I have nothing else to say about this, except if you want to click a plus and throw in another tab and move some of your code over there because it, like all your questions or all your responses, I can show you how to do that perhaps in a new video or in person. Because this soon becomes so long, it might be like 1,000 lines of code, seriously. So you're going to have to soon learn before you get to our second level course here at Why Missing. You're soon this year going to have to learn how to branch some of your code off into separate files to make it more compartmentalized and modularized. Okay, have a great day. Wait. Okay, platform.